council at the end of the meeting. Each one of you should have received the agenda. As far as approval agenda, are there any corrections or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, I ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
A motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passes. Approval of minutes, are there any corrections or changes to the minutes of the last council meetings in your packets? Hearing none, I ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the last council meetings. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second, have a motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Minutes are approved. As far as recognition of visitors, Mr. Crane?
None at this time, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Communication requests, informational items. Number 2, request from Prevail Gym to hold a 5K run and street closure on September 10th, 2023.
Thank you, Mayor. We received this request for the Prevail Gym 5K, and it will be held on September 10th in conjunction with the Junk Junction events. Public Safety has reviewed this and are recommending it be approved.
Okay, any discussion, questions?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion for approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passes. Consent agenda. We have a consent agenda tonight. Is there any resolution under the heading consent agenda that you would like to exclude? Hearing none. Is there a motion to read the consent agenda?
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Mr. Thompson, would you please read the consent agenda by title one time?
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number R1470, a resolution ratifying the contract proposal of Ace Pipe Cleaning, Inc. to clean a sewer main in eastern Moberly. Resolution R1471, a resolution accepting a permanent water and sewer line easement from the Levine Family Revocable Trust. Resolution R1472, a resolution authorizing the purchase of office flooring for the Public Utilities Department. Resolution R1473, a resolution accepting the bid and authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with R&L Boone Construction Company for the Moberly Detention Basin Construction Project. Resolution number R1474, a resolution adopting the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission to approve the granting of a conditional use permit to Mike and Melissa Anderson to construct a pet care facility. Resolution R1475, a resolution permitting relocation of manufactured homes in excess of 10 years of age. Resolution R1476, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a supervised work release program agreement. Resolution R1477, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into task order number 20 with Bartlett and West, Inc., supplementing a master agreement dated March 3, 2020, to provide engineering services for the Wabash Heights ARPA grant project. Resolution number R1478, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Zamkus and Associates for governmental consulting services. Resolution number R1479, a resolution approving grant funding to area civic and charitable organizations and authorizing the city manager to execute annual service agreements with area civic and charitable organizations. and Resolution R1480, a resolution authorizing and accepting a change order to the agreement with L&J Development, Inc. for amphitheater improvements.
Thank you. Is there any discussion regarding it? Mr. Jeff?
I think this would be for Mr. Sanders, but just to be clear on item number 8, on the resolution permitting relocation of manufactured homes. So this is a one-time allowance just for this trailer park.
That's correct, the one that's closed.
So it doesn't mean that everybody else gets a one-time allowance,
No,
just for this one.
yes, this is all this is approving. If there was future closures or something like that, you could look at that maybe at that time, but this is exclusively.
Not a blanket approval.
Yeah, exclusively
Okay.
this trailer park and for ones that pass.
Thank you very much.
Any other discussion? If not, do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next, we have ordinances and resolution number 14.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I have an ordinance of the City of Moberly, Missouri to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest. Has to be read twice for consideration.
We have a motion. Is there a second for the reading?
Second.
Motion second. Is there, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. First reading, please.
An ordinance of the City of Moberly, Missouri to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain municipal officials.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Second reading, please.
An ordinance of the City of Moberly, Missouri to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain municipal officials.
Okay. Any discussion? If not, do I hear a motion for approval?
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. All those in, oh, no, roll call.
Brubaker,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Jeffrey,
Yes.
Kaiser,
Yes.
Kimmons.
Yes.
Ordinance is passed. Next is number 15, a resolution.
Mr. Mayor, I have a resolution appropriating money out of the treasury of the City of Moberly, Missouri. Ask for it to be read once for consideration.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passes for the first reading and only reading.
A resolution appropriating money out of the treasury of the City of Moberly, Missouri to pay expenses due between June 2nd, 2023 and June 15th, 2023 in the amount of $527,269.72.
Thank you. I hereby certify that there is sufficient money standing to the credit of the City of Moberly, Missouri unappropriated in the funds identified in this resolution to meet the requirements of this resolution. Signed, Gregory L. Hodge. Do we have to motion that?
Mm-hmm.
Do I hear a motion for approval?
Motion for approval.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passes. Next, number 16 is department head monthly reports. I noticed it was pretty lengthy. Whoever would like to go first with questions? Anyone?
Yeah, just a few, if you don't mind. And a couple of compliments as well. Just wanted to throw out there that I did speak to an individual who came in from out of town to use our airport and our facilities and gave us nothing but compliments up and down about how nice the facility was and how nice it was ran. And he was just very, very pleased with flying into Moberly. So that gave us a very good look. So just wanted to throw that out there. I know we've put a lot of funds and time and work into that. So just wanted to throw that out. Tom, I was wondering if you could kind of describe the WEGS building, if you could describe the process on how that works. That was obviously done before I got here, and I don't know the exact process on how the
It was a dilapidated building that was collapsing and was signed over to the city, and we were trying to just, as a downtown corridor building, it's kind of like it's in between two other existing buildings, and
right.
taking those out completely is like a missing tooth. So we were trying to do what we could to salvage it. So we did basic renovations on it, took out the part that was collapsing, boarded up the rest, had like just very temporary measures on it to keep it supported with a Tyvek wrap on the back of it. And at that time, we met with the person who owns it now and worked without an agreement on them, which were supposed to make renovations on it, complete the windows, painting, the facade improvements, and do additional repairs on it within a specific time frame. Without a specific time frame, and that time has passed, and we've met with them multiple times, asking to try to get time frames lined up on that, and trying to work with them to get that completed. Our ultimate goals, we want to see that be a viable storefront there, or business front in the future. So at this time, though, we have sent out notification to them and are proceeding with either they have the time that we have to allow for them to make the repairs, or a plan to us. If not, then we will order windows and other materials and make the repairs just to get it kind of a white box.
So they're given a time frame in the beginning. Hey, you need to have X done in X amount of days. Is that how I understand
That was
it?
part of the original development agreement that we signed with them, and I think they had like 2 years or so. It was like a extensive amount of time to get the work done. And all this work is eligible for the PPI program and other things like that. So
Understood. Okay. Thank you for that. Yeah,
Councilman,
yeah.
I might also mention that during that process, we made it available through an RFP, so we asked for proposals. And I think we only received the one proposal.
yeah, it wasn't exclusive for
So-
that person. We actually put it out there for anybody.
Gotcha.
And they submitted a proposal,
Sure.
and then we developed a cooperative development agreement with them based on that proposal, and they're failing to meet
That's
the
how the
terms of
whole
that.
process worked then.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense. And
Tom, I have a follow-up question on that. How do we recoup our expenses?
So whenever we do an abatement on that, we will place a special tax bill against the property, which is also deemed a debt against the owner as well.
So when we do that, this may be a Randall question, but when we do the abatement, if that person owns other real estate here in Moberly, can we put liens on that other
No.
piece of property?
No, it just goes against the property where the abatement took place.
Okay, thank you.
But again, when we've had other situations like that where we've done abatements and we've had a cost above a certain dollar amount where it makes sense to possibly pursue that individual, legal means, we've done that on other situations.
What he means, it's a personal debt against whoever owns the property, in addition to us having a lien against the property. So it's just how we want to go about collecting that lien or enforcing the lien or collecting the debt.
Okay. Go ahead, Brandon.
I had a couple more for the chamber girls, but they're not here, so I'll save those for next week. And the last one was regarding the police department body camera contracts. And I noticed that the contracts actually included storage space when we purchased them. And I know we purchased storage space on a different contract for between $6,000 and $12,000. So are we double paying when all this takes place? Do we continue to need the original contract that doesn't come with the cameras? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
No.
So I believe we put in the budget for X amount of dollars for storage space for video evidence and whatnot. I believe it was
Okay, so I understand your question now. So the video evidence generated by the body cams goes to a specific off-site CJIS approved called evidence.com. And it is done automatically when the cameras are placed back into the cradle to charge. It automatically goes there. The other storage space was for our photographs or videos that we get from other places where we have to store that as well. So video cameras or the videos that we get as evidence from DFS, from any of those type of places, we have to maintain storage of that someplace, as well as our internal storage for electronic files, because all of our stuff is electronic now. So if we attach them as evidence, that goes into our files to the prosecutors and is in both places then.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. I saw that. And I wanted to make sure that that somebody didn't overlook that we
Yeah,
were.
well, and
double-
presently our in-car cameras, those have to be stored separately on our dime.
Right.
And
And
so,
I knew that. I knew that we.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. That answers the question that I have on that. I'm good.
Okay. Other questions? Mr. Jeffrey, you look like you were gonna ask a question.
No, thank you.
Mr. Kaiser? Mr. Timmons? Okay, I have a questions for Mr. Hodge, since you're only here a short time.
Yes, sir.
As I was looking through the year-to-date numbers, the budget comparison report,
Mhm.
I was wondering if you could tell us any that jump out at you that, were really have a huge variance.
Use tax. Are you talking revenues or expenses or?
Well, actually both.
Okay.
As I was looking through it, there was a few in there, like utilities collection, was at 6.7 million, budget 7.8, but also the expenses lower on the other side.
Yes, and
I
that's
was just
basically,
curious
that's it.
why there's such a large difference.
Well, that's basically just a clearing account, so we collect it and then we disperse it out
Right.
to those other funds.
So we're just not collecting as much as what we thought we were going to.
That's basically where we're at.
Okay. And then there's one on street improvement. Looks like year-to-date is 823,000, budget of 500,000. So we've collected more income. And then on the flip side, the expense side, we've only had 211,000 in expenses versus a budget of 675,000.
Let me have Matt address those. He's a little more familiar with
Now, who's
the
Matt?
detail on it.
Oh.
Yeah, so in street improvement, we've sold a lot of vehicles this last year and through Purple Wave, and so that's where that goes in. And in the budget for street improvement, there's that fuel tax transfer to general fund that we haven't made this year and probably won't need to because of general fund's fund balance.
Okay.
I mean,
And the other question I had, I'm going to go ahead and go.
Yeah, can I have
Yeah,
one?
go ahead.
So then the question arises is, are we gonna pave some more streets because we got more money, or are we just gonna bank it? We got a few bumpy streets.
We can pave several streets. We've got several that are lined up for paving this year. I mean, obviously Rollins and Sturgeon are two of our priorities for that. One of the utilities have recently done repairs down, but we've got a long list of it. And we can extend more. Still trying to keep a good fund balance. We've got a lot of projects with TAP projects coming up, and we don't have a clue where we're going to end up. We've got at least $1.5 million commitment on the cost share on South Morey, and that could be higher with rising costs. So we're trying to keep a good balance on that. But
Okay, thank you.
I had just wondering why we do it this way. Under Fund 995 Health Trust, we have the numbers there, but no budget numbers.
It's because we basically have no idea where that's going to fall year to year. So it's just in a trust fund. It's not like an actual budget management fund, if you will. So we just kind of track the numbers. So we don't actually try to budget anything in there.
Okay. Another one, it's more like your, I guess you would call your reserve funds, what you draw interest off of.
Mhm.
They come from different various accounts within, the total package. I wonder, do you take the interest and Do you split that out
Yes.
to the various accounts?
Yeah, so we just kind of, for each fund, we look at what the balance is and then take that percentage of the total and allocate it that way.
So this year, with rates going up, we should see some income increases on it.
I think
From that.
I think we're on track for a record year for interest income.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have.
Yes, sir.
Anyone have anything else? No? If not, we'll move on. Anything else to come before the council? Have liquor license applications?
Mayor and council, we've received a new liquor application from Case and Keg with a new owner. And then renewal liquor applications from Seventh Heaven Convenience Enterprises on 1100 North Morley Street, from Aldi, Bean of Moberly, Casey's Stores number 1121 and 2003, Fiesta Bar and Grill, Moose Lodge, Pizza Hut, and West Side Bar and Grill. These have all gone through the appropriate departments and we recommend approval.
Do we need a vote on that?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve in a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passes. Next is number 18, consideration appointment to the Tourism Advisory Commission.
Yes, Mayor, we received notice that the chamber representative is resigning, and they have submitted Sarah Graff's name as a replacement. She's on their board. And then we also had one opening, and we have, that's from Gina Fowler's resignation, and Mark Fisher is the application on file for that one.
Any discussion? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
So move.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passes. Next is number 19, consideration of appointment of two candidates to the Airport Advisory Board.
Yes, Mayor, we have two openings currently. We've asked the two people that are currently on there if they'd be willing to be reappointed. They both said yes, and then there's three other applications on file. The council gave direction at the last meeting to move the two forward. It was Bill Stewart and who was the second? Dennis Snodgrass, yeah.
Okay, any discussion? If not, do you have a motion for approval?
So move.
Have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next, public comments. Anyone that has a green card, if you'll step up at this time. Okay.
Bueller?
Yeah, Bueller. Next, I guess that's all we have for today. So, have consideration motion to adjourn to a work session followed by a closed session to discuss the status of legal actions and negotiated contract.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Roll call.
Brubaker,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Jeffrey,
Yes.
Kaiser,
Yes.
Kimmons.
Yes.
So we'll,
You had two votes.
pardon me?
You just had two votes.
I did.
Yeah, you had a vote, then you had a roll call.
So,
You only have one. It's okay.
so we're really for sure going to
That's
do it. Make sure about it. Okay. So we've adjourned from city council meeting. Welcome to work session.
Chief Link's got the first four items.
Okay, Chief Link.
Chief, I'm sorry. I think I asked my question under the wrong category, but this was where it was supposed to be.
If anybody missed the answers, we'll read
There you go.
this on.
I think
And
so.
so the first thing what we've done is that as part of the budget process, we're in the process of, we're gonna have to replace our body cams. That contract expires in September, so this starts the process of getting that done. Axon is who we currently use, so obviously they provide those bids. We got bids from a couple other providers, which is Motorola, and also a place called, I can't think of the name of that. Anyway, long and short of it is that the, what we consider those three bids are here, and so we're receiving those three bids. LensLock. LensLock really doesn't have the capabilities that we currently have, but they did provide a bid. They are the cheapest of the three. Axon is for the capabilities that we want to address the storage issues. It's a 10-year contract, which we like because that locks that price in for an extra 5 years. And so they did go up in cost from what we previously had. I can't say I'm terribly surprised at that increase anyway. So we are happy with Axon that we have now. We recommend moving Axon forward to be the winner of that project.
Any questions?
If a new technology comes out, some kind of new camera comes out, and you're locked into the 10-year, do you have the ability to upgrade the model at a discounted price, or are we locked in with?
They automatically replace them.
They'll automate. So if they don't
So
have any,
every 2.5 years we get new body cams, and if there's any software updates, then that immediately comes to as well. So instead of 2 software updates or 2 body cams, we'll actually have 4. And actually the original stuff, the new body cams, the new models are just scheduled to come out in September as that happens. So we're going to be in the process of being able on the front end of getting that, as opposed to getting the current model and then having to change it out in 5 or 6 months. They've rebid it to take in that new one. And this cameras have some few extra features that our other ones did not. One is GPS, where the individual body cam will have that, and then of course some increased storage that goes along with that. It's amazing how much body cam footage we have and how much room that takes up. You get 3 officers on one call for 20 minutes. That's an hour's worth of video that we have to store someplace. And the nice part about our body cams of this one is that as soon as they put them into charge, it's automatically uploaded into evidence.com. We then just have to go find it. The officers have to contact it. They file them or tag them with the different, whatever the case may be, the case number, the type of call, that type of stuff. Anything that is not locked in like that is automatically purged after 6 months by evidence.com, which means we don't have to go do it. So we really like Axon and the body cams we've got now compared to our old ones, and see no reason why not to continue that relationship with them.
I agree. Any other questions? Are you all okay moving that forward?
Yes.
Okay, move that one forward to city council meeting, next council.
All right, the next one is for in-car cameras. The backstory with this is that currently we use WatchGuard. WatchGuard, we buy a new camera every year. Our fleet means about a 5-year rotation. It takes about 5 years to rotate that camera out based on the grant process and what money we get out of Myrna. WatchGuard was bought out by Motorola. WatchGuard components are no longer going to be available, only Motorola components are. So being how we have Axon with our body cams, we knew that Axon provided in-car camera solutions as well. We thought that this was a golden opportunity for us to get those two combined into the same company. It also means that the Axon body cam and the Axon in-car cameras are compatible with each other. That means audio and video is shared at the same place. So we went out and solicited bids. We got it from the same place. Without a doubt, the proposal from Axon was the best offer. It was the cheapest compared to Motorola. It's not the cheapest because LensLock had a cheaper one, but it doesn't have a lot of the capabilities that we currently have. The new one is going to give us some new ones, like live view, which means the officers can notify dispatch, hey, go to live view. That means the supervisor dispatch can watch the body or the in-car camera as it takes place, and also it allows us for LPR. So we would have license plate reading capabilities in all cars. We also increased it from 5 cars to 7 cars. So our SRO and community policing vehicles did not have in-car cameras. We thought this was a good opportunity to get those into those 2 cars specifically. And so again, Axon we thought was the best price for what we're getting, and is cheaper than Motorola was. So we're very happy with that process moving forward, especially since the compatibility is there for them.
Okay, any discussion?
I'd love to see it go forward.
But
Mr. Kaiser?
I said, love for it to go forward. I think this is
Okay.
a great solution.
Okay. Everyone's okay moving that one forward, right? Okay, we'll move that to next council meeting. Number,
So,
T1s.
the T1 lines. So recently, actually back in January, as the council packet shows, we got a notification from AT&T that our annual, our monthly bill jumped from $600 and some dollars to $3,000. And that is because of the T1 lines that run our radio from dispatch to the tower are copper with copper circuits. AT&T did not do a really good job of letting us know that this was about to expire, or they wanted us, they just raised the bill $3,000. So when we got back in contact with them, we had all the bill, well, that account manager's in here, we have a new one, yada, yada, yada. Long and short of it is AT&T doesn't want us to have copper circuits, they want us to go to fiber optic. They're called legacy circuits, and they want to get out of the copper business. Well, to switch our radios over to fiber optics from copper means that Wireless USA has to put some stuff on our radios to make them work with fiber. And there's a big fancy word for it that has some type of compatibility issue. But we contacted them. They said, yes, they can put it on, and that's the bill for it. It's one of those things that we have to do it. The question is, which budget year do we want to do it in? The agreement from AT&T, which is we got an extension on, expires in a year. It is not renewable. They will simply raise the rates even more. They will continue to raise those rates until we get rid of the copper. So I would almost bet at the end of this agreement, it will be more than $3,000 because they have said, we are going to encourage you to get out of the way and get rid of the copper. So when all this came about, then we decided, well, let's try to get this on this budget and get it done. We do have some money in our data processing for 911 to take care of this cost, and that's why we went with a single source requirement or request, because Wireless USA does all of our radio work. They're under contract for our maintenance, and it's relatively short notice, and we need to do it quick. So,
okay, any discussion? If not, everyone okay moving this one forward? Okay, we'll move this to next council meeting. You have one more?
Yep, one more. So when we purchased our 911 computer system from A&W, which is Zetron, we expected it to have certain capabilities as far as generating reports for us. Well, we found out that that is not the case. In hindsight, we should have been asking for that, but we really weren't in a position to do that. We thought it would come with it since it was an NG911 and all these capabilities will be there. They aren't there, and we went to A&W to ask about it. They really weren't helpful. And what we found out was we turned it over to Station, and Station, well, he was going to contact A&W or Zetron, and what they found out is that Zetron has never sold the type of package that we want. So Station introduced us to ECATS, which is based on the demonstration they gave us, will give us all the reports for 911 that we want, where the call comes from, where it transfers to, how long that transfer took place, how long the original call took. All this type of data is available through ECATS. And so we did get a bid from A&W, and we also got a bid from ECATS. There wasn't anybody else that Station recommended, so we only have the two bids. That would be something that moving forward we're going to need to know to be able to tell where a call come from and how many times we transferred calls to one agency or another for that 911 service. So that's why it's been put on this as the last minute when we just got that information from Station on Thursday. Is that right?
Late last week.
Yeah, late last week is when we got it. So we hurriedly got it put on for this council meeting so we can hopefully move that forward before the end of the budget year as well.
Okay, any discussion? Mr. Lucas? You're just thinking, okay. If not, everyone's okay moving this one forward?
Yes.
Okay, we'll move this to the next council meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Who's next? Tom?
Okay, anything else? Tom?
So you see, we have a long list there. After we've in the past have struggled to get applicants. So Shirley has put together a sheet that shows what the terms of all the existing members are, and we currently have all the applicants we have there are seeking reappointment, and we have additional applicants available. So,
You're missing at least one other.
pardon?
I said you're missing at least one other up there.
Yeah, there are others missing. There's at least, we've got two more applicants. I think your budget, or excuse me, we talked about that a minute ago. You have Mike Skubic and Dustin Pollard. And is there another one?
No, Dave Byland, but
He's on there.
Okay.
Tom, have we cleared up the issue of terms, right?
4-year terms, 2 years, consecutive terms or limitations.
And that was 2018.
When that was put in effect, the term limits were put in effect.
So some of these have been on, some of these people have volunteered for many years.
That's correct. And we have some going back as far as 99, I believe.
Okay.
One quick, but the reappointment applicants are all within the right thing in terms of not being outside of their.
They are
appointment
all,
terms.
everybody is, since the way it was decided was they were in 2018, all the applications would be zeroed out there, so it'd be the 2-year term limits would start affecting that. So from 18, they'd have potentially 8 years if they wanted to stay on.
Thank you.
However, we have to reappoint.
Yes, you have
Reappoint,
to, we need to
just like we
either
would
reappoint
appoint
them
anyone
or
else.
select, you know.
Okay. Any questions or discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we move forward Byland, Skubic, and Tadris for appointment at the next regular council meeting.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say nay. I thought we had to vote on it. We don't have to vote on it to move it forward.
you don't have to, but it's if you want to, if there's.
Mr. Chairman, I'd ask for roll call on that.
Okay, roll call, please.
Brubaker,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Jeffrey,
Yes.
Kaiser,
Yes.
Kimmons.
Passes. Anything else, Mr. Sanders?
Not on that topic.
How about any topic?
You got one more, don't we?
Yes, we've got.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get down on my computer here, down to the.
Here it is.
So the last thing there is we have a review of the request for the professional administrative services for the Fennel Complex, the Industrial Park, and the Wabash Heights grants projects. So we submitted RFPs to I think 6 or 7 different organizations that do grant administration. We received one response, and these were a uniform thing. This is from the Mark Twain Council of Governments. Their proposals were for $15,000 for the Wabash and $15,000 for the Fennel, and $15,850 for the ISG, which that'll be a fairly complex one, as that's going to be melding the governor's cost share and potentially other funds with that. So they do a good job. They're very familiar with it, and we're very happy with that group doing that admin service.
Any discussion, Mr. Jeffrey?
So I'm trying to understand what, for example, in the Fennel, they're going to actually do. They're going to tell us this is the most functional design. What are they going to actually do?
They just do the admin of the grant, so the
I see.
reporting, keeping up with the paperwork, making sure all documentations are in. You know, and we'll have to supply that, but they're the ones that are the liaison between us and the organizations like the Department DED and who is doing that grant administration. They just have really good connections with them, and they work with a lot of communities. So they'll keep us in line. We've got a lot of money flowing in and out here, and that's just going to be important to stay on top of that, make sure we have our paperwork in order.
Thank you.
Any other discussion or questions? Tom, this is we've used them quite often. This is Cindy Holtz,
Correct.
is who we deal with a lot, right?
They've
Okay.
helped with the grants and a lot of the applications and done administration for us in the past, and so they have the right connections down to know who to deal with. They go to all this updated seminars and stay very current with all this. So they're doing it for numerous communities, so it won't be like where we're doing it on one project. They've already probably experienced this with other communities and know what to do with.
Okay. Everyone okay moving that forward? Okay, we'll move that to the next council meeting. Anything else? I was gonna ask Dana a question. All this rain we've been having the last 2 days, does that help our East Rollins location out? I haven't seen as many comments on Facebook lately. Good. Okay. Anything, consideration and motion to adjourn to a work session, followed by a closed session. Oh, I've already read that once. Followed by a closed session, discuss status, legal actions, negotiated contract.
So move.
Okay, we'll adjourn.
Didn't have a vote.
Oh, we didn't.
Have a second and a vote.
Motion, please. Second?
Second.
Now we have a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. Jerry,